Hi guys, how are you? How art thou? How are you doing? It's Abby October. Welcome to the channel. Today's video is actually highly requested. I know every YouTuber says this, but if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm an account manager that's technically project manager based in marketing, and I run accounts on behalf of brands and I create all of their social media campaigns and their digital campaigns and their paid ads. So I work with a lot of influencers daily. I recruit influencers, and I've not actually worked for a talent agency. So I usually go out and source people that I think would be great for particular campaigns, negotiate their fees, do all of the content, pay them, and all straight through to the end, and then I report back to the brand. So I have a lot of experience paying people of all sizes, and I can just say across the board, nobody is asking for enough. Nobody is asking for enough. So don't feel like you can't ask for more. You most definitely can. I've literally put together 5 quick tips that I've come up with throughout my career that I notice and that also people have done to me whilst working that help people get a higher fee. The first one is going to be egregious. Everyone's been told to do this. Sending rate cards. Sending rate cards is great if you want to be paid that same rate forever, regardless of the size of the project. What I suggest you do is actually just ask for the budget for the campaign and also how many people are involved. You may not necessarily get the answer, but what we're just trying to do is gauge how big of the campaign is. If there's 10 people involved, it may actually be realistic that there is a stretched budget. If there's only 3 people involved, you most likely can ask for more. Having a rate card means you're consistently referenced at that same rate, regardless of the budget and regardless of how much content they ask you to create or how long it takes you to create it, or how quickly they want it from you. So if you are going to send over rate cards to a brand or an agency or any kind of company that you want to do, make sure you put a range. So as opposed to putting, say, for example, £200 for a story, you would say for a story it's £200 to £500, and then you can negotiate within that range. My second tip, and this is really, really kind of crucial, a lot of people don't do this, charge for each monetizable deliverable separately. I know that's a lot of words, but we charge separately and then we add them all together. We don't charge one fee for several different types of content. That's how you limit yourself. It's like giving somebody a discount. No, we're charging you separately and individually. If they want a story with a swipe up and a feed post with a link in bio and a reel, we are going to charge for a feed post swipe up, a post, a link in bio, and a reel. That's 5 things you're going to charge for individually based on the fees that you charge for those things generally. That way, the brand can decide how many of those deliverables they can afford to pay you based on their budget. Obviously, you'll be paid in one lump sum as an invoice, but you'll charge per thing that they're making money off of. No part of your page that's being used for somebody else's advertisement should be free. No. I will never forget, I asked somebody, how much do you charge for a link in bio? And they gave me a fee per day. That is the energy we are on 2022. I paid them, for example, £500 for a post and £50 for a link in bio for 3 days. So that was an additional £150. They got paid £650. Most people would have just settled for the 500 and put the link in bio as a nice gesture. This is business. Everything costs something. There is still, to this day, a lot of money pumped into those traditional avenues of marketing. So if our content is now being used as paid ads, it's now being used as YouTube ads, it's been used on people's websites, we deserve to be properly compensated. You have to realize your value in the ecosystem of marketing. It's very high. No matter how much we charge as influencers, we will always be less than traditional marketing. Always. And so don't feel any way to ask for a good amount of money because you're an entire production team on your own. And sometimes people actually have production teams that they have to then go and pay to create this content. So make sure all those things are stated. If you actually do work with a photographer, mention that when people reach out to you and be like, you know what, here's my fee, but also I need to pay my creator who makes this with me, so there'll be an additional fee for them. Charge. Third thing I would suggest you do. A few people may not know this, but contracts can go both ways. A brand or an agency or a person or a company can send you a contract for you to sign with their terms. You can also send your own contract to a brand with your terms. Regardless, amendments can be made. A lot of people think that once they receive a contract, that is the contract, they have to sign it. No, you can go back and make your amendments. So say, for example, in terms of late fees, I always charge and encourage all of my clients to charge daily late fees after the invoice due date. That means usually in most companies, because you're not paid by bank transfer, you're paid through a processing system. Their payments usually come through every 14 days or 30 days, depending on which agency you come to. If you're working as a creator yourself, you can set your own pay date as 14 or 30 days. Regardless, whenever that 14 or 30 days is up, if you haven't been paid by that due date, you should be charging for every single day after that you have to wait. Give it a week. Email them, "Hi, I realise that my invoice hasn't been paid. I've added the additional late fees per our contract for the last 6 days. Here is my new invoice that needs to be paid as soon as possible, please." Trust me, they pay quickly. Nobody wants to pay late fees for no reason. If you're struggling to get paid, if you're chasing invoices, add late fees and leave it. If you've chased them and they're still not doing anything, as long as it's in the contract and as long as it's signed, you're well within your rights to just wait for your payment. And when the payment comes through, you add the additional payment fees. Because a lot of creators get done over, a lot of smaller creators get done over payment wise, and they're waiting months to get paid. No, large creators charge late fees. Small creators, we're starting to charge late fees too. My fourth step is content creation. Now, this is something a few people may know about if they're slightly larger, but also it's really, really great for micro-influencers as it has nothing to do with the size of your personal page. The only thing you need to generate content creation gigs is very, very high quality content. If your content is amazingly made, you take really good time, you get a good camera or a good phone, or you get somebody to help you, and we can just see it's really good, sharp, crisp, super nice content. Content creation gigs are about to be your best friend. I've worked on several of these throughout my jobs, and essentially all it is a brand wants to utilize content for either their own personal social media or their paid ads, but they don't want to produce the content themselves. They also don't want the content posted on influencers' pages because the influencer may not necessarily match with their brand, but they make great content. They may not be large enough to actually make up the numbers of the audience they're looking for, but they make good content. So brands will reach out to you, or you can reach out to brands for content creation deals. This means the content is not posted on your page. You're not obliged to put it anywhere. Based on what they've suggested or what you've agreed per your contract, it will either be used for paid ads, a website, a YouTube channel, a TikTok, anything like that. The only thing I would really, really stress highly with content creation is usage rights. If you're going to give a brand a piece of content, state your usage. Otherwise, you've given them claim to use that piece of content forever for free. This is where the money comes in from content creation. If you've made a video that they're going to use on paid ads for the next 2 years, that's a lump sum. If they're going to use it on TV, that's a different sum. If they're going to use it for Instagram or to put that, depending on how many places they're going to put this content, it depends on how big your fee is. And that also, again, has nothing to do with the size of the creator because it's not going on your page. I've had several content creation jobs I've worked where I have, say, for example, a 500k influencer and a 10k influencer making content creation, and both got paid the same because neither of them are posting on their page. So we're not capitalizing off your followers. We're not benefiting from your views. We just want you to make the content. If you're really struggling to gain followers but you make amazing content, content creation is going to be where you make most of your money until you've grown. And that's where a lot of micro creators make their money until, their page develops and shiznit. My final tip for micro creators as to how to gain more money is long-term partnerships with brands. If a brand wants to work with you and they've offered to pay you and they really like your content, maybe you've done one gifted, one paid post. The next time you reach out or the next time they reach out to you, set up the next 10 posts and get a lump sum fee for that. One, that works well for brands as they benefit from your growth during that time period, but also it works really well for the creators as you're able to jump higher and higher salaries. It's like how everyone's suggesting now you move jobs more often than we used to back in the day when people stayed at one job for 20 years and just got promoted throughout the company. It's kind of the same thing. You could either do one post at £200, the second post at £300, and the fourth post and slowly make your way up. Or you could charge $3,000 for 10 pictures. But at the end of the 10 pictures, if they want to book you another 10, you can up the entire thing to 4 or 4.5. It adds up a lot faster than if you were to do it incrementally per picture. So having long-term deals with brands, ideally having a brand on retainer, that is something that happens when you get a bit larger, but that's the goal. That's when a brand pays you monthly to post a certain amount of content, just always. You might get a retainer contract for a year. where they'll pay you a salary for a year to post content for them consistently. So, long-term deals, retainers, content creation, late fees, charge everybody separately, and stop sending rate cards. Please. You're limiting your fees massively. But anyway, this was a super quick video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this is a little bit helpful. I'm going to be talking about a lot of content creation, marketing, business insights in this channel. This is literally all I know. This is my job. And I basically want to share my influencer industry insight to help micro creators and even just general creators to grow their brands and grow their channels and to just develop and become entrepreneurs and self-sufficient and self-employed. I'm really big on people having side hustles and making their own money. So if you have any questions about this topic, please leave it down below. There'll be loads more videos on this. I'm also actually going to put together an event or maybe actually a course. A course or an event, depending. And a course? You guys let me know below. Do you want a course or an event? Because either way, I'm going to basically put all of my knowledge down and literally teach you how to manage your account like an account manager would, how to run your business, how to run your Instagram like a business, how your account looks like to us, the marketing managers, the account managers, the social media managers. What does your page look like to marketing professionals? All of that, all of the details. So I'm going to share this knowledge on how I create my content, how I stay consistent, how I reach out to brands, how brands reach out to me, how you should respond to the brands that reach out to you. All of that. All of the above, we're going to be talking about on this channel and in my events and in my courses. So follow me on Instagram, subscribe. If you want to make money as a content creator or an influencer in 2022, you should really follow me. If you don't, you're not going to make as much money as you should. Just saying. Like, low-key. You'll make way more money if you listen to my advice. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.